What's really going on with Jungkook? Why did he suddenly appear at the airport with no official schedule? The moment left fans gasping, cameras flashing, and theories spiraling out of control. Is this the beginning of something bigger? Or is Jungkook silently crying for help? What happened to Jungkook? That was the electrifying question reverberating across social media platforms just minutes after he was unexpectedly spotted at the airport. No schedule, no warning, no official appearance list. Just Jungkook, BTS's golden maknae, walking into the departure terminal alone. Calm, yet unmistakably different. Fans who were lucky enough to catch a glimpse couldn't believe what they saw. Cameras clicked in a frenzy. But what stood out even more than the moment was the air of mystery he carried with him. Is this a secret trip? A coded message to ARMY? A silent scream from someone under pressure? The questions surged, uninvited and untamed, refusing to be silenced. His black cap was pulled low, his face partially obscured by a mask, but nothing could hide the weight in his gaze. His body language wasn't loud, but it screamed something. Something only those who have followed his journey from day one could begin to decode. For someone who is known for his spontaneity and sincerity, this move still felt unusual even for Jungkook. Why now? Why like this? He didn't wave, didn't greet the cameras, and didn't seem to acknowledge the people calling his name. And that was the first red flag. Jungkook, the ever-loving and fan-conscious idol, always made it a point to connect, even in silence. But today, it felt like he was walking through a storm, soaked in secrets he couldn't yet share. The air around the terminal shifted. Armies who had been casually filming for fun suddenly held their breaths, sensing something serious. This wasn't a fashion statement. This wasn't a comeback hint. This wasn't even a casual trip. There was something under the surface, something explosive, perhaps heartbreaking, maybe even life-changing. Speculation spread like wildfire. Was he going overseas for a private meeting? Is this about a potential new agency? Is he collaborating with someone unexpected? Someone so big that even HYBE has kept it under wraps? Or is this a personal escape, a need for distance, a cry for peace amidst the madness of fame? Every step he took down the marble floors echoed louder than the fans' questions. His hands were clenched. His back was straight. And yet there was a flicker of fragility that could not be unseen. The kind that only a few eagle-eyed armies captured. A quick wipe under the eye. A deep breath that didn't seem rehearsed. It wasn't long before theories swarmed Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Some said he was meeting someone important, possibly a global star, or worse, someone from his past. Others claimed this was tied to a project so classified, not even staff knew the full story. But there were also darker whispers. Whispers that chilled the heart and widened eyes. Was Jungkook struggling with something he couldn't say out loud? The possibilities are endless, but the truth? That's the question still begging for answers. And perhaps that's exactly what Jungkook wanted, to leave us guessing, to open the floodgates of speculation, to awaken armies into caring deeply again, not just about his artistry, but about him as a person. Maybe this wasn't an accident. Maybe this was a message, loud and clear. If it's a new solo era, why so secretive? If it's a personal matter, why so public? The lines blur as we watch the same 30-second clip over and over, analyzing every detail, his bag, his shoes, his posture, the staff who trailed behind him, or rather, didn't. Was that a subtle rebellion or a carefully orchestrated narrative? And then there was the jacket, a seemingly simple oversized black jacket, but if you looked closely, really closely, it bore something unexpected. A patch with unfamiliar symbols, a stitched phrase in a foreign language. Could it be lyrics from an upcoming song, a reference to a collaboration, or something deeply personal, meant only for those who truly see him? Jungkook's airport sighting has left a trail of clues, a breadcrumb path ARMY is now passionately following. And the deeper you go, the more you wonder, has he been trying to tell us something all along? Through his silence, his social media activity, his subtle aesthetic shifts, was this moment planned for months? Or did it come from a breaking point, a decision made at midnight? His silence only fuels the fire. No statement from HYBE, no post from Weavers, just radio silence. It's almost as if they want us to feel this uncertainty, as if they're preparing us for something monumental. Or maybe they're not in control either. This isn't just a story about an airport appearance. This is a story about a star who's outgrown the sky we placed him in. A soul who might be seeking freedom in a world that has only ever demanded perfection. And today, through that silent walk and downward gaze, he might have taken the first step toward reclaiming something we didn't know he lost. So what's next? Are we on the edge of a major announcement? Will Jungkook finally speak out, break the silence, and let us in on the truth behind this cryptic moment? Or will this remain one of those legendary, unsolved ARMY mysteries, forever archived in the fandom's collective memory? You, reading this now, what do you think it means? Is Jungkook sending us a signal? If so, what is it? Let your thoughts flood the comments. Hit like if your heart skipped a beat watching that clip. Subscribe if you're ready to follow this unfolding story to the very end. We'll be watching, waiting, wondering. And if this is only the beginning, how far will the ripples reach? The shock hasn't worn off. The airport footage is still being dissected frame by frame by thousands of devoted fans, desperate for any sign, any detail that could point them toward an answer. In one frame, you can see a moment where Jungkook briefly turns his head, seemingly looking straight into a camera, eyes heavy with emotion. Not anger, not exhaustion, but something deeper, something that almost seemed like longing. Was it for freedom? For peace? For something or someone he left behind? Just a few months ago, Jungkook had been all over the headlines. Awards, nominations, brand deals, global praise, viral moments. But today, that bright spotlight feels dimmer, more distant. And that's what makes this sudden airport moment so deeply disorienting. Not because it was grand or flashy, but because it was quiet. Because Jungkook didn't come to perform. He came to go, and no one knows exactly where. Armies know him well, too well to ignore the way he moved, too deeply to believe this was nothing. There's a story unfolding beneath the surface of every quiet step he took that day. There's a hidden truth behind his pressed lips and clenched jaw. And that truth is beginning to haunt the fandom, not with fear, but with worry. Genuine, heart-clenching worry. Could he be in pain? Not the kind that screams on stage, but the kind that lives in silence. The kind that walks through terminals with no entourage. No smiles, no waves, just shadows. Maybe he didn't want to be seen. Or maybe, just maybe, he wanted to be caught. Needed someone to ask, "Are you okay?" Because if we're being honest, when was the last time anyone truly asked Jungkook how he's doing? Being the golden maknae comes with impossible expectations. Perfection becomes routine. Flaws become forbidden. And sometimes, in the process of becoming everything to everyone, you lose pieces of yourself. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe this is Jungkook trying to find those missing pieces. Again, one quiet flight at a time. As the clock ticks and hours pass, fans wait breathlessly for answers. Where did he go? Why did he leave? What will happen next? Will there be an update, a post, a live stream to calm the storm? But still nothing. Not a word from him. Not a whisper from Hybe. It's as if the silence is the message. And maybe that's what hurts the most. Because armies have always lived in that sacred connection between words and music, between hearts and lyrics. Jungkook has always spoken through his songs, his performances, his laughter, but now he's speaking in silence. And that's the loudest message of all. Could it be the pressure of being watched every second? Could it be a secret? Project that's so big it demands secrecy from the very beginning? Or maybe it's love. Perhaps the kind that's forbidden or misunderstood. Maybe he's chasing someone or escaping something. Maybe this airport trip is the beginning of a love story or the end of one. And now we're left with only questions. Every airport sighting brings a new theory. Some say he's meeting someone in Los Angeles.